Hey everybody, I'm back. It's been a while since we've done a video. Autumn teas and all that got us pretty busy. Great autumn, lots of great teas. Pretty soon, around the time this video comes out, we'll be releasing a lot of our autumn teas. We've already released the Yiwu autumn teas, which look like this. This is the Ting Ya. We're not going to be drinking this today, but I will be reviewing some of these pretty soon. But our autumn teas, are, a few of them come out, the Yiwus and some other ones pretty soon. What has come out and what I want to drink today is, this is a 2018 Golden Bud, Yunnan sourcing Golden Bud. And this is purely a Golden Bud ripe pu-erh. In Chinese, they call it Jin Ya, which literally just means golden bud, and similar to gong, somewhere kind of like between gong ting and Jin or golden needle ripe, and it shares a lot of similarities in terms of the look and the taste of it, while not quite exactly the same. So if you're a fan of like the now sold out 2016 Yunnan sourcing golden needle cake, the one with the monkey on it, little 100 gram cake, which is sold out, it's very popular. I highly recommend this. So we're gonna get started. Beautiful beautiful wrapper designed by Simon Austin, and yeah, check that out. But yeah, we're gonna get started. It's water just boiled. Normally I boil the water and then start the video and start talking, and then by the time I'm done talking, the water's not as hot as it could be, but this time we got it just perfectly. So we're gonna get this started using the Tianmu, zhen, and silver gaiwan here. Quite a bit of tea. I forget exactly the size of the gaiwan. I think it's 150 milliliters. So I used about 9.5 grams of tea. Not a huge amount, but a decent amount. I'm just gonna do a real quick wash here. Already just hit with a really nice, strong, kind of woody aroma. Put this little piece back in here. The tea is very new. So this tea was actually wet piled in 2018. So the tea has wet pile taste. The tea is still, I don't know if you can tell from this, that the tea is still a little bit cloudy. As we go into the next few infusions, it'll clear up from this significantly, but part of that, it has to do with the water content in the tea from the wet piling, because it really hasn't lost the wet pile taste, but also the water content in the tea is from the pressing. So when the tea is pressed, it's steamed, it's weighed, and then it's put into a cotton bag, and it's steamed so it can soften up and be compressed. So that's why both and ripe teas tend to lose their water content slower than raw pu-erhs that were pressed recently. And I think it's probably because of the wet piling allows ripe teas to just hold more water in general. I'm not 100% sure why, but I have noticed that. So aroma is kind of woody and camphor, sweet. A little bit of mushroom, a little bit of, some people say barnyard, but that's not really, I don't know. It doesn't smell like shit. Even though I think a lot of people don't mind the smell of, like horse dung or whatever, which is, I guess because they just eat grass, it's not so bad. But yeah, no, it doesn't smell like horse shit. It just smells earthy. It's got a very sweet smell. a little bit of spicy, a little bit of wood, camphor, but not overly one or the other. I've got another steep here. This is coming out a little bit darker. Ooh, it's dark. A little cloudy still, as I mentioned, but pretty dark. This is a tea like gong ting that I would say requires a little bit of skill to brew, so hopefully I won't screw it up. My skills of brewing tea when I'm making videos are notoriously poor. But the aroma in this tea is just fantastic. It's so strong and thick. And I can just tell this is gonna be good. So let's get to it. I'm actually gonna start this next one. I really bought a thermometer recently. And I highly recommend these. This helps. This also helps me from being more mindful about the temperature of the tea that I drink at. Considered to be safe for drinking hot liquids is 135 Fahrenheit, which is I think about 57 Celsius. Let's wait here and see. I'm gonna put this in here. I've just been really trying to be more mindful of that, and the thermometer helps. But what I've also noticed is when I use the thermometers, I notice how quickly a cool cup will bring down the temperature. Let's see, we're at 57 Celsius. Yeah, so 57 Celsius, 135 Fahrenheit. This is considered, a safe temperature to drink tea where you're not going to be burning the inner part of your mouth, which does lead to increased risks. So, oops, I dropped my little thing here. Sorry about that. How important that little fuzzball is. Okay, so the aroma of this tea and the taste of this tea is not, I don't feel like you can entirely predict the taste of this tea by the aroma at all. It's very chocolatey. It's definitely got a bite. It's definitely got a little bit of a crisp, dark chocolate bitterness to it in the front end. And then sweet. It's very thick too. Wow. This just it's not a tightly compressed tea. So just right out of the gates, if with one even short wash, and of course with the help of some very hot water, the first steep after the rinse is just magnificent. In fact, this is largely already not compressed. So this is a tea that not tight compression at all. That will help with it losing the wet pile taste faster. I would expect within a couple of years the wet pile taste will be pretty much not noticeable at all. Even now it's compared to, I think it's been a couple months that I've been, since this has been pressed, so yeah. Let's go to the second steeping here. So hard to describe this taste. It's kind of creamy. There's definitely a good amount of oils in the tea, and I think that really is what gives you the impression of being thick and viscous. Is it creates a coating in the mouth, and it's sweet. It's bittersweet. It really reminds me of something like a dark chocolate. Wow, it's like velvety dark chocolate. It's almost got like a mocha, almost like a mocha, but like a slightly sweet mocha with a, with that cream, with a little bit of cream in it. It's definitely got some of that. So again, still real dark and thick, but as I mentioned, over the years, in the next even just 6 months to a year, this is gonna become almost totally clear. It'll still be dark, but it'll be a little more clear. It's kind of, you can't really tell from obviously from the video, but I'm gonna finish this up. A little high pour there. I've got my thermometer here. I'm gonna check. Okay, so real hot. My cup here is 150. It's coming down fast, but right now it's 150, 148. So it's coming down fast. I like to do things. I don't want to open this up and test do the temperature of the water, because if I pop this top off, it's gonna lose the temperature real fast. But I really, like I said, I really like to do this just to become mindful. I really think that if you burn your mouth, it's going to screw up your session, and it's not good for your health to be, burning your mouth. So I got got it off of Amazon. I think it was like $10 or something. But actually, it's interesting. The battery, it doesn't seem to go through battery very fast. I left it on all night a few days ago. It was totally fine. It's still running. We're down to 139 now. So I'm gonna wait about 30 more seconds, and then I'm gonna go ahead and drink this. The other thing I like to do, if I really want to brew fast and I want to maintain the heat of the water, is I'll have multiple cups, and I'll do this and this and this and this. Usually I do that with the small guy ones, where it's one guy one is 1 cup, and then I'll just line them up: first infusion, second infusion, third infusion, fourth infusion. By the time I get to the 4th infusion, typically I can drink the first one, because the temperature of the water is really important. And even now, the temperature of the water compared to when we started has come down hugely. This year we really put a lot more emphasis into ripe teas, simply because ripe teas are good and they're popular, and there's actually a huge amount of variety in ripe pu-erhs as well. Sweet, the bitterness is still there, but it's compared to a sheng pu-erh or something like that, the bitterness is really understated. Let's go there. And again, I'm probably not the timing of my brewing and such is probably could be a little bit better. As I mentioned, I'm notoriously bad at talking. And again, real nice dark tea soup. This tea is not losing steam. Compared to, say, a more classic blend of various grades of tea leaves, this being a very tippy, very, very tippy, and very, very golden. If you look at some of the pictures online of the tea I took outside in the sun, some are under a light, done by a photographer, a friend of ours, and some were taken by me outside. And if you look at those pictures under the sunlight, it's pretty incredible just how golden this tea is. So yeah, compared to perhaps like a blend of various tea leaf grades, like a grade 1, 3, 5, 7 blend, which are kind of typical. Kind of like typical blends, like a Dai 7572 is an average grade of 7, so it's got some 3, some 5, some 7, some 9 in there. And the leaf grade is, it goes, I think I've said this before, but it's gong ting being the smallest, gong ting, Jin being the smallest, Jin Ya those are the 3 smallest grades. And there used to only ever be gong ting grade. I don't know how they separated out Jin Ya and Jin Zhen, but they do look distinctly different. And then there's, so it's gong ting, Jin Zhen, Jin Ya, Teji, and this is in increasing order of size. Teji, Yiji, Sanji, Wuji, Qiji, Jiuji. So that's gong ting is, they call it tribute, or palace grade or tribute grade or something like that. And Jin Zhen is golden needle, like the 2016 golden needle cake that we pressed. Jin Ya is golden bud, which is this grade. And then it goes Teji, which is like special grade, Yiji, grade 1, Sanji, grade 3, Wuji, grade 5, Qiji, grade 7, Jiuji, grade 9. So grade 9 would be kind of the largest leaf. And then there's also larger leaves like Huangpian or Cuye or Zaoxiangye, which are very, very large and are pressed as well. But anyways, that's a little background on leaf grades. But the idea being, again, that that various leaf grades are blended together, are going to create something that's going to be a bit more, that's going to take more steeps. But this tea, what has more to do with how much a tea can be steeped is the quality of the tea. So like a spring tea versus a summer tea, a spring tea would take more steeps in terms of like the quality of the tea and the how mature the tea plant is. Even when it comes to ripe pu-erh, a healthy, mature, even a plantation bush that's been around for decades is going to typically steep longer than a super young tea bush, the leaves from a super young tea bush, or something from a biodiverse environment. So there's a lot of factors that come into play when it comes to how much a tea can be steeped, how tightly it's been pressed, in terms of ripe pu-erh, the level of wet piling, or the degree of fermentation. So like this one, I would consider it to be medium, whereas a light fermentation ripe pu-erh probably could maybe steep a little bit longer. All right, so look, I don't know what steep we're on now. Y'all can count, but it's still real dark. In terms of flavor, I would say that the bitterness, the dark chocolatey bitterness, has faded a little bit, and instead it's just been replaced by something very sweet, and a little bit earthy. Again, this interesting thing about drinking ripe teas that have a wet pile taste, like newer ones, is that when you go into the later steepings, the wet pile taste tends to drop out, and then you have a little bit more of an idea. If you don't have a lot of experience with drinking new ripe pu-erhs, you have a kind of a little bit more of a window into what it's going to be like after it's losing its wet pile taste. But of course, it's also lost a lot of its initial, like oomph. So it's really hard to predict without a lot of experience and comparison how a ripe pu-erh is going to taste exactly after it loses its wet pile taste. I have a very good sense of it because I have a lot of experience. So I'm going to reboil the water here and push this. But still nice and dark. Let's get some more water in there. But yeah, anyways, while we're waiting, for ripe tea aficionados, Yunnan Sourcing is going to be releasing a a few more ripe teas, and unfortunately I think they're not going to come out until just after 2018, but they will be 2018 teas, Year of the Dog teas. One is, a blend of older teas, older ripes, several, I think 5 or 6, that's going to be coming out, and that's going to be, again, Lucy on the wrapper. Lucy's going to be wearing my old kind of funky orange rimmed aviator glasses. And there's going to be another one that's going to be just Jin, so it's kind of an analog to this one here. And that's going to be just the Jin, just the golden needle. And that's going to be picture of a dog, a Doberman, maybe let's say with a Gaiwan on their head, I believe, balancing on their head. That's going to be a great tea. And we also are releasing a organic ripe Pu-erh from 2018. It's going to be in a purple wrapper, and that's going to be a really fantastic tea as well. It has a really strong, thick taste. It's got like almost like a natural rose taste to it as well. So yeah, there's still more to come for 2018, even though 2018 is getting close to being over. But I do really highly recommend this tea. I just, every day people are contacting me about, you know, Rooster King, do you have any more of it? Or do you have any more of the 2012 Yongda Blue Label? Or do you have any more of the 2016 Golden Needle? And the answer is no. And, you know, that's the thing about these teas. Like this tea, I think we only pressed, 100 or 150 kilos. So, you know, not a lot. And most of all the teas, the ripe teas that we press, even though that's significantly more, the pressings are significantly more than in terms of weight than the raw teas. They're not. I mean, most of them are 100 kilos or 150 kilos or 200 kilos, and that's it. So I just would really encourage people to get out and get online, get some samples, and start drinking these teas and figure out which ones you want before they're sold out or before the price increases. We increase the price, once a year on ripe teas. So, if you like it, definitely pick some up, because they're not going to be around forever, especially the good ones. And the good ones are many. Real nice. I'm gonna go for a little warmer. See, now I gotta be careful again because I reboiled the water. There was a little bit of tea in here from before. I know this is strange, but oh no, it's 145, so I definitely want to wait a second. I'm gonna get some more water in here. The really nice thing about this tea is it just has a very nice feeling. It's like a nice feeling in the mouth. It's very, soothing. It's very viscous. There's like a kind of there's no like chalkiness or dryness or anything like that. It's very smooth. And there's a nice kind of plethora of tea oils, a little bit of like chocolatiness, and real sweetness going on here. So again, this is this is going to be a very different experience than drinking like for example, like a 7572 or even one of our kind of larger leaf, Yunnan sourcing brand cakes that have a blend of different leaf sizes. This is going to be different. It's going to be, and I don't want to say one-dimensional, because that's just completely not true. It's definitely a three-dimensional experience. I'm just a little bit more focused. Just pour a little bit here for show you. let's see what else. That's about it. I think I'm going to take this tea for a few more steeps. I do highly recommend this tea. It's very pleasurable to drink. The chachi is definitely there. You definitely notice it while not being overpowering. Nice mouthfeel. It's going to improve a lot with age. And although this is not one of the cheaper ripes that we offer, I think for a 357 gram cake, the price that we're asking is very reasonable. And you know, again, about just under a year from now, we will probably raise the price a little bit. So it's definitely a good opportunity if you want to try it, and if you feel some affinity with it, you might want to pick up a cake or two, or even a tong. If not, that's fine. It's a good experience, if anything else. So I would definitely recommend at least getting a sample of this cake and checking it out. And yeah, keep an eye on our channel here. Subscribe if you'd like to. We're going to be getting back into making more videos. Things got a little crazy for a little while this autumn and early winter, but we're kind of getting back into it right now. So appreciate you for watching and hanging out. And yeah, leave some comments if you'd like to. Thanks.